Welcome to the channel. So today we're going to give this a shot. We're going to cover the elders letters for November. Now these aren't even available yet on Avoid JW. So we had these sent to us anonymously by someone, and they just showed up in our email as pictures. So I'm just going to go through it the best I can. And the pictures are a little, some of them aren't as good as the others, but bear with me. So here we are, announcements and reminders. So this is for the elders. Now, the very first thing is the revised shepherding book. So they can go on to their JW Hub and get this. Now, the revisions are chapter 1, clarified that only exemplary baptized publishers should receive special privileges and responsibilities. Exemplary. So now that they don't count time, they will have to kind of watch the flock a little bit more. Scrutinize if they're exemplary. This is going to be interesting. Okay, part 2, it says, inserted is a new point directing responsibility of the body of elders to decide if a funeral for a publisher who committed suicide may be held in the Kingdom Hall. So I guess that's optional. It's up to the elders if someone commits suicide. Part 6, it says, added those living in remote locations to the list of those whose spiritual and physical needs merit the periodic what's that word? Attention of the body of elders. So to note people that in needs. So then chapter 11 inserted directing that when learn that publishers require surgery, that they should provide him with a copy of a form. So if you're going to surgery now, you've got to fill out an S407 form. So now they're getting more into your medical business and history. This is ridiculous. So chapter 12, they want an insert, clarified that provisions allowing an innocent mate to take responsibility before Jehovah for obtaining a scriptural divorce may be extended only if the elders determine that strong evidence of sexual immorality exists and the innocent mate is convinced that adultery occurred. So it sounds like they're going to loosen up things on remarrying, so that's kind of interesting. Chapter 20, there's an insert, a sentence stating that memorial and special talks will usually be given in person. Okay, so they don't want to do that over Zoom. Part 10, deleted sentence stating that about 1 month prior to the special talk, pre-recorded special talk may be available. So they want to get away from, they want people showing up at meetings, contributions. You get more at the meetings, right? Now, paragraph 27 inserted a new point directing that when meetings are held at the Kingdom Hall, it is preferred that those delivering public talks be physically present at the Kingdom Hall. And if the Kingdom Hall is necessary equipment, the congregation may arrange for a public talk to be given by means of video conference on occasion. However, this option should be used no more than once a month. Sounds like they're limiting video conferencing. Okay, so here's another one. Deleted reference access to programs on JW Stream by elders. Ministerial servants S42, which should no longer be used. Paragraph 29, deleted reference to access to programs on JW Stream, and that's what these other ones are. Okay, let's go to the next one then. The next article is, where are we here? Okay, so there. Okay, so here's the next one. Is this one, and it carries on. Paragraph 20, inserted sentence stating that the Kingdom Hall agreement should indicate that the bodies of elders of congregations sharing in Kingdom Halls agrees to abide by the direction contained in the Kingdom Hall security plan. So there's a Kingdom Hall security plan they want everyone listening to. Inserted is a reference to the Kingdom Hall security plan and replace the different one on. See, they're getting into here, paragraph 36, replaced previous direction regarding Kingdom Hall internet service with reference to cybersecurity guidelines for Kingdom Halls, S287. Interesting. So they have cybersecurity now. Now, chapter 22, paragraph 19, added a record made by the elders to document a report they made to the secular authorities regarding any accusation of child abuse to the list of items that should be placed in a sealed envelope and retained in the congregation file. I'm going to reread that because we're dealing so much with child abuse and CSA. So here's their change, chapter 22, paragraph 19, added a record made by elders to document a report they made to secular authorities regarding any accusation of child abuse to the list of items that should be placed in a sealed envelope and retained in the congregation file. So at a later date, we'll look at the elders book and we'll look at the CSA section. But that's the one change that they've made. Now, chapter 26, paragraph 14, part 2, inserted a sentence stating that it is not appropriate for individuals to, what is that? To take the initiative to collect funds privately or to use social media to solicit funds to assist congregations affected by disasters. So inserted is stating that it is not appropriate for individuals to take the initiative. So they don't want anybody in the congregations doing a GoFundMe, collecting money for people. They want all the money being funneled through the Watchtower for obvious reasons. Now, paragraph 14, part 3, inserted a sentence stating that there is no objection if a publisher sends some form of assistance directly to a family member or friend. So if you have a family member or a friend or a kid or a relative, well, you can, of course, help them directly. Like, who the hell needs the Watchtower to tell me what I can and can't do when it comes to helping people, helping neighbor? Like, this is, you talk about control, folks. This is high control. And this is what we're showing the audience with these secret elders meetings and elders letters. These are secret ones that are just sent to us, pictures taken of them. The rank and file does not get this stuff. This is only for elders. Now, working safely at Kingdom Halls. As a reminder, the body of elders should seek the direction of the local, what do they call it? I can't read it. Construction department, the LDC, before any high-risk activity is started. So they want you working through their appropriate, their HL, their building committee is what this is. What is that called? The BDLC? I can't quite see it. But it's a LDC, building committee. Now, risk and incident reports, you got to fill out a TD whatever 4 or something. I can't see it. Thank you for submitting this risk incident report. So this is just standard risk safety stuff that you have to do on construction sites. Every construction site has to do a risk assessment. So it sounds like Watchtower is incorporating this into their book because they do everything for the people. The people don't take training outside of the Watchtower. They're it. Now, instructions for our Christian Life and Ministry meeting. Please review carefully. Revised instructions. This is brand new, I guess. For coordinators of the bodies of elders, announcements for congregations. Please ensure that the announcements for the congregations are read. Audit. Then we're doing an audit of accounts, directed instruction on a congregational S27. So probably every year they got to do an audit, and they probably do it in November. Okay, we're going to try to get to the next one here. Where are we? Okay. think we're right here. Okay, now this, and we did that one. Now this is for the Life and Ministry meeting. Is that what they call the midweek meeting? Life and Ministry meeting? Overseers. Midweek meeting part on the new format for the Apply Yourself to the Field Ministry section of the midweek meeting. Please present a 10-minute part on the new formal format for the Apply Yourself to the Field Ministry section of the midweek meeting, in place of the 5-minute local needs part during the week of December 4th, 2023. During the part, review paragraphs 6 to 12 of the revised instructions for our Christian Life and Ministry meeting, S38, and build enthusiasm for our opportunity to improve our conversation skills and ability to preach and teach. Encourage all to download a copy of the instructions from JW.org or JW Library, review the applicable portions each time they receive an assignment, and if your congregation has a circuit assembly the week of December 4th, 2023, the part should be presented the week of December 11th, in place of 5-minute part Integrity and Our Thoughts. The timing of the congregation Bible study should be reduced as needed. So, folks, if you ever wonder, that there's the governing body tries to come back and say, "Oh, we don't control the flock." This here is proof that they have such tight control that these elders can't even squeak. They can't even move. Everything is laid out for them. And so there's nothing that they can do. So the governing body stating that they're not responsible for the CSA that's hidden and covered up is a complete lie. We see how they give complete instructions and they instruct the elders all along the way. Now it says for secretaries, there's a revised form for field service. So now they have this new field service form. And it says once the shipment is received, the older versions of the form should be discarded. Therefore, additional quantities of the may be required. So that's their new field service thing. Check the box kind of a thing. Now for service overseers, public witnessing guidelines, S148 form. A revised version of public witnessing guidelines will soon be available in forms and sections and documents on JW Hub. And please become familiar with the revised guidelines and provide copies to all those who have been approved to participate in the public witnessing. And listed below are significant changes from the previous version. So let's look at this. Part 2, insert direction that the publisher should stand or sit at an appropriate distance from the cart. Can you believe that? There's an appropriate distance now that they have to stand and sit. Wow. Talk about control. Part 6. And there will be elders walking by to check that you're standing approximately so far from the cart or sitting so far from the cart. And you'll get counsel because it's in here. It's in the elder's book, elder's letter. So this gives you guys, the common person a chance to see these letters. They should see what the elders are instructed to do. Paragraph 6, it says, inserted direction that if the police ask publishers to leave an area, the publisher should do so and then inform one of the elders. So that's new, I guess. Number 2, love people, make disciples. The supply will be here, make disciples. To the congregation in the boxes marked do not open until November 6th. Woo, we won that one. We thought it would be that. And I think a lot of the other channels, we all kind of figured this was happening. So after the announcement for the congregation is read, you may begin distributing the brochure to any who would like a printed copy. So all you have to do is want one. And if additional copies are needed, the language coordinating congregation may submit a request using the item 6669 or mnemonic, whatever that is. It's quite the number. Okay, number 3, scriptures for Christian living. With the help of the literature servant, please verify the numbers of the request for printed copies. These numbers should be conveyed to the language coordinating congregation, blah, blah, blah. So what does it say? They have to get those requests in before the end of the month. Okay, so that's that. And now we're going to go over to the last one. This is announcements and reminders. Now, this is all the congregations will get. This is it. So everything up until here is private for elders. And here's what the congregations get. It says, love people, make disciples at the annual meeting, blah, blah, blah. This new page brochure entitled Love People was released. We're happy to inform you that the digital version is now available for download and in the library. And you probably have the other printed copies. So then it goes on to say, number 2, Scriptures for Christian Living. The video Governing Body Update 7 announced the release of the new publication Scriptures for Christian Living, which is designed as a reference tool for you to use in locating Bible verses. And it'll help you to deal with various challenges. So we've seen this on the annual meeting release, this here. And so this is now just being rolled out to the congregation. So number 3, instructions for our Christian Life and Ministry meeting. Revised instructions to these meetings are now available on JW.org. So that gives you an idea, folks, of what happens on a month-to-month basis. The congregations get letters, and it's tight control to the elders from the governing body. And the governing body to these guys is like God. It's like talking to Jehovah. It's like Jehovah is talking to these elders through these letters. And that's how they view it. Most of them view it that seriously. So anyways, folks, that brings an end to the... where are we here? That always happens. That brings an end to the elders meetings, elders letters for November. And I hope that helps you a bit. But what I get out of this is very, very tight control on the congregations. So folks, until next time, keep living your life with love. And when we do that, we're not monitoring each other. We're not spying on our neighbors. We're just being a good neighbor. It's very easy. Very easy. Once you get out of the watchtower, you realize that, you know what? Being a good neighbor is actually quite easy. We don't have any of these rules. This is all rules that are made up by a governing body of men. And these are men with their own agenda, their own ideas on keeping this business rolling. And it's really a business, and that's what they're keeping rolling here, and they're tight control. So there is culpability, liability, the way I see this, that goes all the way back to the governing body for everything that's happening today. Okay, folks, so until next time, keep living your life with love. Bye for now.